3 months before my wedding, my boyfriend posted his marriage certificate with my foster sister, as well as her maternity photos, on his social media feed. The caption read, "Welcoming our little life legally." My foster sister commented with a shy emoji. Mom liked it and added, "I'll take care of the baby after it's born so you two can enjoy your time together." I couldn't help but post a question mark, and the next moment, my boyfriend's scolding came crashing down on me. "She's only borrowing me for a year, and the baby will be returned to you after it's born. Don't be so petty. Mom said she wants you to give birth to a son before registering the marriage anyway. It's perfect to have the wedding first, then register later." I gave a faint okay, then deleted all posts related to my boyfriend and posted a new one, looking for a groom. "Who wants to marry me?" My boyfriend, Jack, was the first to reply. "Amy, are you out of your mind? I'm just marrying her. Do you have to make such a big deal out of it? You don't think posting on your social media feed will make me jealous, do you? That's hilarious. I'm warning you, stop causing trouble and don't make things difficult for Taylor." Taylor quickly followed up with a post of her own. "Sister, Jack is just trying to make our baby legitimate. I won't steal Jack from you. After you and Jack get married, my child can call you Mom, too. My mom scolded me for being ungrateful. You can have a child without suffering. Taylor is helping you so much. Shouldn't you thank her?" Several more comments followed, all echoing Jack's buddies. "You and Taylor are sisters. Whoever Jack marries is family. Just give Taylor Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you get Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays." Everyone was teasing and laughing. I was stunned for a long time, and bitterness welled up in my eyes until I couldn't hold it back anymore. Tears dripped down my cheeks onto my mobile phone screen. They were the in the wrong. Yet they shamelessly blamed me instead. How ridiculous. These people weren't worth my sadness. I wiped away my tears and noticed a particularly conspicuous comment in the chaotic comments section. It was from David. "Can I be your groom?" David and I grew up together. After graduating from college, I stayed in Riverdale, while he chose to study abroad. After Jack and I got together in college, he always avoided me. We hadn't been in contact for a long time. While I was pondering, David called me directly. "Amy, I've liked you for a long time. You know I've always hated your foster sister, so I won't have anything to do with her. I also don't have any messy friends. I've been focusing on my career all these years, and I don't have any ex-girlfriends either." As he spoke, I suddenly received a contract. I opened it and saw that it was the transfer of all his assets and shares. While I was still surprised, David spoke nervously. "Amy, this is all my sincerity. Are you willing to give me a chance?" My nose tingled. I suddenly remembered when we were kids, the teacher rewarded us with 2 of our favorite candies. He was very greedy, but he didn't eat a single one and saved them both for me. He had always treated me with the utmost sincerity. I choked up a little. I do. Love was ethereal. I once tried to grasp it, but I was left battered and bruised. I thought being alone would be fine, too. But Grandma's dying wish was to see me get married, to see someone who would have my back from now on. Jack wasn't worthy. But I thought if the groom was David, Grandma would be very relieved. David's voice was full of surprise. "Then I'll take care of work and come back to marry you within 2 weeks. Amy, you'll wait for me. You won't change your mind, right?" His tone was a bit aggrieved, and I vaguely remembered promising to be his bride when I grew up. I hummed in agreement. Suddenly, I felt like crying. "David, let's pinky swear. After hung up, Mom pushed open the door to my room. "Where's the sapphire necklace your dad left you before he died?" I didn't answer, remaining silent. Mom frowned in displeasure. What's with that attitude? Your sister just thinks it's pretty and wants to wear it for a couple of days. Hurry up and get it out. Don't be so petty. My foster sister, Taylor, linked arms with Mom and said with disappointment, "Forget it, Mom. My sister never acknowledged me as her real sister anyway. If she doesn't want to, then that's that. I won't force her. How dare she not acknowledge you? This necklace belongs to my husband, and your dad too. I'm making the decision today to give it to you." Mom put her arm around Taylor and looked at me sternly. "If you don't hand it over, don't blame me for sending someone to search your room." I stared at her blankly, then turned up the corners of my mouth, smiling more miserably than crying. The mom who used to be so gentle and loving to me had ultimately turned into a stern and harsh person in my memory. However, I was about to leave this place forever. I no longer wanted to have any meaningless arguments with her. I silently took the sapphire necklace out of its brocade box and handed it to her. Mom smiled with satisfaction. "That's right. Taylor is your sister. You, as the older sister, should give the good things to your sister." After Mom left, Taylor put on the necklace in front of me. "Sister, don't blame Mom for being biased. To be honest, the necklace looks better on me anyway. Just like Jack is more suited to be my boyfriend. What belongs to me, no one else can ever have." Looking at Taylor's smug expression, I didn't say a word. People like her will never stop if you give them attention. I picked up my bag, ignored her as if she were air, and walked down the stairs. "Ah, sister, why did you push me?" Taylor suddenly jumped in front of me, pretending to be pushed by me, and staggered towards the stairs. Although I hated her, I still subconsciously reached out to grab her. After all, there were over 20 steps on these stairs. Falling wouldn't be a joke. "Amy, you wicked woman." Jack violently knocked my hand off Taylor's arm. The back of my hand slammed hard against the handrail, making a loud thud. I was in so much pain that I broke out in a cold sweat. "Jack, luckily you were here in time, otherwise Taylor hid in Jack's arms, her face full of tears and lingering fear. "It's okay. Don't be afraid. Jack is here." Jack stroked Taylor's head, comforting her softly. "I won't let anyone bully you." I looked at my hand, which was fractured, bruised, and swollen. Then I looked at Taylor, who was only a little frightened and was being protected in Jack's arms, being showered with concern. Suddenly, I felt very ironic. The boy who once doted on me in every way, promising to treat me well for the rest of his life. The man I was supposed to marry is just 3 months away. How could he suddenly have changed his mind? After comforting Taylor, Jack looked at me with a gloomy expression. "I know you've been harboring resentment about me marrying her and having a child behind your back. You can vent at me. After all, I didn't tell you in advance. But you can't hurt Taylor. She's not in good health, and she's pitiful enough as it is. She's just asking me to give her a chance to be a mother. Is that wrong? Why should she have to bear your anger?" He pointed at me angrily. "You have to apologize to Taylor today." I tried hard to suppress my trembling body and said hoarsely, "Then what did I do wrong? What exactly did I do wrong?" Jack looked at my red eyes, stunned for a moment. "It's okay, Jack, even though I almost fell down the stairs and died, but I don't blame my sister, and I don't need her to apologize to me. You and my sister are still getting married in the future. I don't want you to argue because of me." Jack sighed, speaking lovingly. "Taylor, your understanding is sometimes so heartbreaking." He looked at me with coldness in his eyes. "In the end, you're just jealous of Taylor. You can't stand seeing her living better than you. Since Taylor is speaking up for you today, it's fine if you don't want to apologize. If you dare to hurt her again in the future, I won't let you off easily." He picked up Taylor and, before leaving, said to me with a disappointed look, You're not even a little bit as good as your sister." I was the only one left in the silent living room. I stared blankly at the fallen leaves outside the window. In the end, I couldn't help but squat down and cover my face, crying. This was the last time I would cry for Jack. That afternoon, Jack posted on his social media feed. It was a 9-photo grid. The photos showed 9 different corners of the apartment. The caption read, "Every room, every piece of furniture, every decoration here has been carefully selected and arranged by me, just hoping to give my baby a warm and comfortable home." Many people sent their blessings below. "Congratulations, Mr. Jack, on your soon-to-be son. So, Mr. Jack and Amy are having a shotgun wedding. Congratulations, congratulations. Being able to have a good husband like Jack, Amy is so lucky. Envy. I will not miss the wedding in 3 months, even if I have to turn down a business deal worth hundreds of millions." Just as the comment section was buzzing with blessings, Taylor suddenly interjected, "Everyone, please don't misunderstand. This is not Jack's apartment, it's my place." The comment section immediately fell into an awkward silence. I was the first to break the deadlock and posted, "3-person game, I quit. Wish you 2 happiness." After speaking, I couldn't be bothered to care about what they would say. I directly deleted Jack and Taylor from my friends list. Within a few minutes, Jack called my mobile phone. "Amy, have you caused enough trouble?" I said calmly, "I'm not causing tea." "Ruble." Jack said furiously, "That sentence you said on my social media feed is trying to smear Taylor. You won't be satisfied until you brand Taylor as a mistress, will you? If you slander her again, we're not getting married." Listening to his cold and merciless accusations, my heart was as still as dead water, without any ripples. "Jack, what makes you think I would still want something that's been used by someone else?" I hung up the mobile phone. Perhaps the words used by someone else had stung him, as he called me countless times. When he couldn't get through, he sent me all sorts of messages. I ignored them all. In 10 days, I was going to marry David. These people would all become people from my past. In the remaining days, I originally wanted to spend them with them in peace, but I didn't expect Taylor to smash my dad's urn. The ashes were scattered on the ground. Not only did she not feel guilty, but she also let her pet cat urinate on them. Then she looked at me with a happy expression. "Sister, look, the ashes can also be used as cat litter for my cat." At that moment, the grief and anger that had been pent up in my heart erupted. I suddenly picked up the baseball bat behind the door and swung it viciously at Taylor. She took a hit and ran away, screaming with a pale face. "Amy, I think you've gone too far. You even dare to hit your sister." The appearance of Mom made Taylor feel like she had seen a savior. She hid behind Mom with a look of horror. Choking with sobs, she said, "Mom, I'm scared. Sister, she wants to kill me." Mom protected her like a hen protecting her chicks and reprimanded me sternly. "It's fine if you bully your sister normally. I just treat it as a little spat and don't bother to argue with you, but this time you've gone too far." She was my mom, yet she always stood on the opposite side of me, protecting a foster daughter who had no blood relation to her. Nothing could be more tragic than this. I stared at Mom with tears in my eyes. She smashed Dad's urn. "That's Dad. That's my dad. Why? Why? Why did she have to destroy the memento Dad left me when I was already being so tolerant? Why doesn't my mom love me?" Taylor quickly knelt to explain. "Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." Sob, sob, sob. "I'm sorry, Mom. If my sister doesn't forgive me, then I'll just go die." Taylor cried sadly. "Taylor, don't you dare slap." Before I could finish speaking, Mom slapped me across the face. "Enough. It's just ashes, is it? People are already dead. Are ashes more important than living people? If you bully Taylor again, you can get out of here. This slap completely wiped out the last trace of attachment I had for her. It was fine this way. I could leave without any worries. Without looking at Mom, who was frozen in place, I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth and turned around to go upstairs. Since Mom thought I was an eyesore and Taylor had taken my room, I might as well move out instead of staying in this home, where there was no place for me anymore. I simply packed a few pieces of clothing. I didn't take anything else, whether it was things Mom had given me or expensive gifts Jack had given me. I didn't bring any of the photos I had taken with them before either, and I burned them all. I wasn't the type to be sentimental. Since I was leaving, I would leave cleanly. When I dragged my suitcase downstairs, Mom was applying medicine to Taylor. She looked at me coldly. "You're just leaving home because I said a few words to you? You're so petty. It's good that you're moving out, so the house can be peaceful. Come back when you marry Jack." I didn't say a word and took one last look at Mom. I wouldn't tell her that I had changed my marriage partner, nor would I tell her that my wedding was in 10 days, because she was no longer someone I could be close to. I also didn't want her, or Taylor and Jack, to show up at my wedding and make trouble. I called for a car on my mobile phone. While I was waiting, Jack drove up. "Amy, what are you doing with that suitcase?" "Moving out." Jack frowned. "What's going on? Where are you moving to?" "I already gave that apartment to Taylor." "Don't cause trouble for Taylor for no reason." "I'm looking for a new place." "Wait until I find it, then you can move too." I didn't say anything and walked past his car with a blank expression. Jack suddenly grabbed my arm. "Amy, do you have to make me unhappy? Can't we be happy together like we used to be? You cheated on me with my foster sister, yet you still expect me to be happy with you? Where do you get the face from? Why are you still holding on to what happened before? I've explained it to you countless times. Why are you still being so petty and calculating? Can't you be a little more understanding like Taylor?" Looking at him blaming all his mistakes on me, while righteously accusing me and belittling me, I completely witnessed the personification of shamelessness. "Since you think Taylor is understanding, you might as well marry her." Jack simply didn't believe what I was saying. After all, everyone knew that I loved him. Everyone thought that I would never let him go for the rest of my life. And he included. So, he said nonchalantly, "Fine, you said it, don't regret it later and come back crying and begging me." "Jack, you're here to see me?" Taylor came out when she heard what was happening, interrupting our conversation. "Aunt said you were frightened today. What happened?" Taylor glanced at me, pretending to be scared, and moved closer to Jack's arms. "Sister went crazy today and chased me with a baseball bat." Jack frowned. He was just about to scold me when Taylor pulled on his sleeve. "Jack, don't scold my sister. I don't blame her anymore. In the end, it's still my fault. If Mom hadn't adopted me, I wouldn't be an eyesore here." "How could it be your fault? She's just petty and can't stand anyone." "It's her fault." Jack put his hand on Taylor's shoulder in an intimate manner. "Amy, for Taylor's sake, I can let you off for hitting her, but you have to kneel and apologize to her." I laughed at their shamelessness. Apologize to her? Dream on. The car I called had just arrived. After speaking, I slammed the car door and left without looking back. I had a very comfortable time staying in the hotel these past few days, without any annoying people or things bothering me. Mom sent me a text message. "Amy, it's my birthday today. Come back." I didn't want you to come back, but Taylor pleaded for you. When you see her, remember to thank her. Of course, I hadn't forgotten her birthday. But I would never be like before, starting to prepare the venue and gifts a week before her birthday, making sure she had a comfortable birthday party. Of course, I wouldn't go back either. That was no longer my home, and she was no longer my mom. It was almost noon when I was enjoying my meal. Perhaps because she hadn't seen me appear, Mom couldn't help but send another text message. Why haven't you come back yet? Jack is already here. What kind of daughter are you, not showing up? I'm not even blaming you for not preparing a birthday party for me this year. Are you still blaming me for slapping you? Can't you learn from Taylor and be kinder and more generous? I sneered as I read it. What kind of words were these for a biological mom to say? It was affecting my mood. I added her to the blacklist. Before my mobile phone could be quiet for long, Jack's mobile phone called. Where are you? Stop being stubborn and come over quickly, otherwise people will think your aunt and Taylor did something to you. That's why you didn't even attend your own mom's birthday party. If he hadn't called me, I would have forgotten that I only deleted his Facebook Messenger a few days ago and hadn't blacklisted his mobile phone. I wasn't interested in listening to his nonsense, so I hung up and decisively added him to the blacklist. Final. There was peace. After finishing my meal, I received a message from my good friend Sarah. The project she had been working on for 3 months had finally been completed successfully. She wanted me to go to the bar with her tonight and get drunk. Of course, I wouldn't refuse my friend's invitation, and it was a good opportunity to relax. When I arrived, Sarah was sitting at the bar, chatting enthusiastically with the handsome bartender. When she saw me, she waved excitedly. I haven't seen you for so many days. Let me see my Amy. Why have you lost so much weight? She frowned unhappily. Did Jack bully you? I smiled and told her frankly, Sarah, I don't plan to marry Jack. Sarah hugged me with concern. Sometimes, I didn't need to say much for her to understand my feelings. I drank one glass after another with her. I couldn't help but want to confide in Sarah about the grievances that had been building up in my chest. After listening, Sarah said with indignation, he's not worthy of you. That kind of jerk should have been kicked out a long time ago. Oh, you two ladies are drinking alone here. How boring. Why don't you let your brother take you home to drink? A drunken man suddenly appeared. He sized up Sarah and me with malicious intent, teasing us as he reached out to us. I disgustedly brushed off his hand that was on my shoulder. But his strength was greater than I imagined, and he was very difficult to deal with. I struggled a few times, but couldn't escape. Sarah was also pushed to the ground by him. The people around us were only interested in watching the show, and no one was willing to lend a helping hand. Just then, someone put their arm around me from behind and effortlessly kicked the drunken man away. I subconsciously turned around and saw someone I didn't expect, David. Which hand did you touch her with just now? Or did you touch her with both hands? David narrowed his eyes dangerously. He looked at the drunken man as if he were looking at a dead man. His cold shoe sole, accompanied by the drunken man's screams, crushed the back of the other's hand hard. In the drunken man's miserable begging and apologies, I only heard him say coldly, "Get lost now." In my opinion, David had always been a gentle and refined young man. I had never seen him lose his temper. This was the first time I had seen him look so angry. After the drunken man left, David pinched my cheeks. Luckily, I arrived in time, otherwise, what would I have done if my fiancé had been bullied? The words fiancé came out from between his teeth, making my heart beat a little faster uncontrollably. Oh my gosh! Isn't this David? Why are you back in the country? When did you come back? After I helped Sarah up, she asked David a series of questions in a flustered manner. David patiently replied, I came back an hour ago. As for why I came back, he looked at me with a smile in his eyes. Of course, it's because I missed my beloved fiancé. Fiancé! Sarah was stunned. She excitedly moved closer. Are you saying that Amy agreed to marry you? Amy, tell Sarah. David saw my face turn red and deliberately teased me. I glared at him with a hint of coquettishness. I didn't want to be shy anymore, so I took the opportunity to explain to Sarah. Sarah, I've already agreed to marry David. Sarah cheered. David, congratulations to you for finally succeeding in pursuing your wife. It wasn't in vain that you had a crush on her for so many years. I glared. You knew he always liked me? Sarah spread her hands. Only a silly goose like you wouldn't be able to tell. I've secretly tried to match you up a few times. But unfortunately, you used to put all your heart into that jerk Jack. After we came out of the bar, I received a mobile phone call from Jack's friend. Sister-in-law, I don't know what's wrong with Jack today. He drank 5 or 6 bottles of alcohol and is still clamoring to continue drinking. Come over quickly. None of us can persuade him. You finally managed to nurse his stomach back to health over the years. If he keeps drinking, I'm afraid all your previous efforts will be wasted. I said calmly, he and I have already broken up. It's not appropriate for me to go over. He heard what I meant and said with a smile, hey, what happened between Jack and your foster sister was just a joke. Sister-in-law, why are you taking it seriously? The only person Jack likes is you. Whether he likes me or not is meaningless to me. Amy, what do you think you are? Some kind of rare treasure? Jack snatched the mobile phone from Peter and said coldly, break up, then break up. You're the only one who will regret it. I listened with a blank expression and was about to hang up when he suddenly softened his voice. Amy, how can you be so cruel? You leave when you say you're leaving, you break up when you say you're breaking up. If this had been in the past, and he had softened his voice to talk to me, I would have softened my heart. No matter how outrageous he was, I would easily forgive him. But now, I had taken back this privilege. So, I hung up the mobile phone indifferently and deleted all the contact information of his friends. From now on, we would go our separate ways and never see each other again. David, Sarah, and I chatted for a few more minutes at the entrance of the bar. Sarah wanted to take a cab home by herself. She claimed that she didn't want to disturb the two of us. But she had been drinking, and it was so late, how could I not worry? So, we sent her home first. After she left, there were only David and I left in the car. The confined space, the ambiguous atmosphere. The temperature kept rising. My head, which was already dizzy from drinking, became even more dizzy. He moved closer to me little by little. I bit my lip, shyly, not knowing what to do. Amy, my Amy, his breath surrounded me, and his warm lips gently landed on the corner of my lips. With utmost care affection. I was so nervous that my palms were sweating. My heart was pounding like a rabbit. I'm really afraid that I'm dreaming, and when I wake up, I'll find that all of this is fake. He pressed his forehead against my forehead. I seemed to be able to feel his fear and sadness. I subconsciously touched the top of his head and comforted him softly, don't worry, this is not a dream. I'm really by your side, and I won't leave you. He nodded in relief and hugged me even tighter. David came back to the country this time purely because he missed me. So, he couldn't help but come back to see me. He took a plane abroad early the next morning. Amy, I've hired a famous foreign designer to custom make a wedding dress for you. After I take care of things abroad, I'll bring the beautiful wedding dress and marry my beautiful bride. The first wedding dress of my life, I thought Jack would give it to me. Unexpectedly, the person who ended up giving it to me was David. I smiled and waved at him. Childhood sweetheart turned fiancé. There was a special kind of sweetness in my heart. One day, I came out of the hotel and saw Jack standing at the entrance of the lobby. His clothes were disheveled, his hair was unkempt, and he looked lifeless. When he saw me, his eyes lit up for a moment, but quickly dimmed again. I couldn't contact you, so I had someone check your address. Is there something you need? My tone was cold. Amy, I know I was wrong. I was blind and deceived by Taylor. Jack pursed his dry lips and said in a hoarse voice, I looked at her mobile phone and found out a lot of truth. She colluded with the doctor to trick me into thinking she was unwell, but my sperm quality was good and could help her get pregnant to the greatest extent. Our apartment, she also cried to me, saying that you and your mom were mean to her, and she was afraid of having nowhere to settle down after having a child, so she begged me to transfer the apartment to her. I felt sorry for her, so I agreed. Also, I now know that mom favored her. She occupied your room, and the necklace your dad left you was also destroyed by her. She often twisted the truth and framed you. I frowned in boredom. It's meaningless to say this now. Jack opened his mouth, speechless. Amy, can you give me another chance? I won't be deceived by other women again. I will treat you well. I didn't want to get entangled with him and said bluntly, my wedding will be held in 2 days, with David. His face turned pale instantly, as if he had been hit hard, and even his back bent down. How could this be? Impossible. How could you bear to give me up? You must be lying to me. I won't believe it, he shouted like a madman. The security guards at the door saw this and stepped forward to grab him, pressing him to the ground, looking extremely embarrassed. But I didn't feel any pity. After all, I had nothing to do with him anymore. Later, I heard Sarah say that Jack had sued Taylor in court for defrauding and embezzling private property. Even though Taylor begged him with the baby already formed in her belly, he didn't soften at all. Taylor ran to ask my mom to save her. She didn't want to go to jail. But after Jack exposed Taylor's true colors, she also saw Taylor's true face and kicked her out of the house without mercy. Seeing my mom being so heartless, Taylor picked up a knife and stabbed her crazily. Fortunately, the servant appeared in time, and the knife stabbed her hand, not hitting a vital spot. Someone saw her kneeling on the ground, scolding Taylor, and crying, constantly calling my name. Taylor also had a miscarriage in the struggle after falling to the ground. I just listened to these things as gossip and didn't take them to heart. Soon, the day of my wedding to David arrived. David returned as promised with a gorgeous wedding dress. Without my knowledge, he had already silently prepared everything for the wedding. I saw his care and love in my eyes, and I was deeply moved. Although I initially decided to have a shotgun wedding with him for the sake of the inheritance my dad left me. But now, I find that a man as considerate and emotionally stable as David is hard not to be attracted to. I'm starting to fall in love with him. That day, I was sitting in the dressing room getting my makeup done. Someone opened the door. It was my mom and Jack. Seeing me frown in displeasure, Mom quickly said, afraid that I would drive her away, Amy, I'm here to apologize to you this time. She said in tears, with a painful voice, Mom has been sorry for you all these years. Mom now knows that you have suffered so much injustice and grievance. Mom was confused. She didn't cherish her daughter and went to adopt a wolf in sheep's clothing. Amy, can you forgive Mom? After I let the makeup artist out, I looked at Mom expressionlessly. I also want to know, why have you been so biased all these years? Mentioning this, Mom's face suddenly stiffened. She said, if you hadn't made a fuss about eating strawberry cake late at night, your dad wouldn't have gone out to buy it, and he wouldn't have had a car accident. Your dad was the pillar of the family. Losing him made me feel like the sky was falling. How could I not resent you? Every time I saw you, I thought you killed your dad. No wonder there was always disgust in her eyes when she looked at me. No wonder she adopted a daughter from the orphanage when she had me, her daughter. No wonder she was biased. I had been questioning myself, wondering if I hadn't done well enough to make my mom hate me. It turned out that she had been blaming Dad's death on me all these years. Didn't she know that the real killer wasn't me? It was her. I didn't want to ruin my delicate makeup and tried to hold back the tears in my eyes. I said coldly, Dad didn't die because of me. It was because of you. The nitroglycerin pills Dad prepared for Grandma were always on the shelf. It was you who carelessly. Why threw away Grandma's medicine bottle? You said you would buy a new bottle for Grandma when you got off work at night, but you went to the poker room. That night, Grandma had a heart attack and couldn't get through to you on the mobile phone. Dad had to run to a nearby pharmacy to buy it, but he didn't expect to encounter an out-of-control car on the road. Mom stared at me in disbelief. You're talking nonsense. How could it be because of me? You killed your dad. I lowered my voice. How long are you going to deceive yourself? Why do you think Grandma has been shutting you out for so many years? It's because you are naturally timid, irresponsible, and you either run away or blame others when you encounter something. But I never thought that you would fabricate things and cowardly attribute your mistakes to me, and hate me because of it. Mom, am I your daughter? Mom's face instantly turned pale, and she suddenly slumped to the ground and cried loudly, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's all Mom's fault. Jack also apologized, Amy, Mom, and I know we were wrong. Please forgive us this time. Will you come back with us? Your wedding dress and our apartment, I've prepared them all. As long as you come back with me, we can hold the wedding right away. Shut up. How dare you try to kidnap my wife on my wedding day? Who gave you the nerve? David appeared in time, and he hugged me affectionately in front of Jack. Just like Jack used to hug other women in front of me. Looking at his extremely embarrassed face, I found it very ridiculous. Honey, I don't want irrelevant people to attend our wedding. David was obedient to me, and smiled as he rubbed the tip of my nose. Whatever you say, darling. He called the bodyguards and simply and neatly tied Jack and my mom out of the wedding venue and threw them on the side of the road. In this life, some people will disappear like smoke and will no longer cause a ripple in my heart. And some people will stay in my heart. Stay in my life, and accompany me for life. I touched up the most delicate makeup, put on the most gorgeous wedding dress, and held the most beautiful bouquet. I walked step by step towards my most handsome husband. David's composure had collapsed a bit on this big day. Like the boy who used to show his emotions, his eyes turned red with excitement the moment he saw me. He ignored the jokes of the crowd and rushed towards me impatiently, holding my hand tightly. Amy, I'm so lucky to marry you in this life. Under the host's guidance, David knelt on one knee, his dark eyes staring at me affectionately, as if he wanted to drown me in them. He gently put the ring on my finger. I love you, my dear wife, only you in this life, love you forever. I was infected, and my eyes turned red involuntarily. I leaned into his ear and whispered, David, have I told you that I've fallen in love with you? From now on, I will love you more and more, just like you love me. His eyes gradually widened, full of surprise and excitement. He and I kissed tightly in the warm blessings of the people below the stage. Next, it was time to throw the bouquet. Amy, the bouquet! Throw it to me! Throw it to me! Sarah stood in the crowd, jumping up and down, looking excited. David and I looked at each other, shook our heads with amusement, and threw it in her direction without showing any trace. Sarah lived up to expectations and caught the bouquet, bragging to the people around her as if she had won the lottery. That wedding was the most romantic and happiest moment I have ever felt in my life. There were no annoying people to disturb me. Only the people I love and the people who love me. We laughed happily and played happily together. Later, with the help of a lawyer, I successfully inherited all the inheritance my dad left me. I heard that Taylor's prison life was not easy, as if someone had deliberately instructed it. Mom admitted that she indirectly killed Dad, and admitted that she had neglected her daughter all these years. In great remorse, she gave up her wealthy life and went to a temple to eat vegetarian food and chant scriptures to atone for her mistakes. Jack didn't know where he had found the sapphire necklace that Taylor had destroyed. He had someone dissolve it and remake one. He originally planned to give it to me, but found that David wouldn't let him get close to me at all, so he hung it around his neck. A few years later, David and I had our first baby. Looking at the man lying on my belly listening to the fetal movements, my mood was like sunshine at this moment. Warm and happy.